Welcome back to Weekend Warrior Wellness. This month we'll be talking about basketball. Basketball is a sport that started right in our country, and it's a game that everybody could play, from kids, 4 years old, all the way up to people in their 70s and 80s. It's a sport that we continue to play in 30 plus leagues, 50 plus leagues, but if we're going to continue to play it, we have to make sure that we prepare our bodies for battle, because it has a lot of wear and tear on different parts of our body. The most common injuries in basketball involve ankle sprains, calf strains, Achilles tendonitis, hamstring strains, and low back injuries. The exercises that I'm going to demonstrate today help to prevent all of those injuries. Our first stretch is called downward dog, which is a traditional yoga pose that stretches out everything on our back side, mostly focusing on your hamstrings, calves, Achilles tendon, and also throughout your entire spine. So basically you're going to get in an all-fours position, hands out, shoulder width apart. You want to try to get your feet to a point where your heels are on the ground. You're going to tuck your head between your arms, sticking the butt up in the air, and you're going to hold the pose for about 15 seconds. You want to avoid a position where your heels are up, because then you lose the stretch. So keep those heels down, just like that, and then slowly come out of the stretch. You can repeat that 5 times. Next, we will be doing what's called World's Greatest Stretch, which is basically a dynamic stretch composed of 3 movements, okay? And we're going to do it on both sides. First, we're going to have our left foot out in front, coming down like this. All right, this is stretching out your hip flexor on your right side. Then you're going to take your left arm with your right hand planted. You're going to rotate up, hand all the way to the ceiling, eyes gazing on the ceiling for a nice stretch of your middle and lower back. Then you're going to reach back, left leg straight. Okay, and this stretches out your hamstrings. Good posture like that. Okay, then come back up and you're going to repeat on the right side. So right side forward, stretch this way. This is for your left hip flexor. And then with your left hand planted, right arm towards the ceiling, gazing towards the ceiling as well. Again, a good rotation stretch for your back. Then you're coming back into your hamstring stretch, just like that. And then you're all done. You can do that 3 repetitions. Next, we're going to do our dynamic warm-up, which consists of 4 movements. First, we're going to do our high knees to wake up the hip flexors. Second, we're going to work on our butt kicks to work on the hamstrings. We're going to do walking lunges, making sure that we get our knee all the way to the ground. And then last, we're going to do traditional jumping jacks. Those 4 movements should get you ready to go right onto the court. Now we're going to move on to strengthening. First, we're going to show you a functional squat using just your body weight. Okay, so mechanics are very important here. Feet shoulder width apart. Okay, making sure you sit back into the squat. Okay, the wrong way to do it is to have your knees going forward. It's not a squat. Okay, you have to make sure, keep your butt back, and then go as far down as you comfortably can. Now I'll show you from the front angle. Feet shoulder width apart. Okay, sitting back almost like there's a chair behind you, and back up like that. Next, we're going to show you a split squat, which is great for strengthening both your quad and your glute maximus. Okay, so first, you're going to get into a lunge position, okay? And you want to pretend that you're going straight down into the ground. Okay, you're not going forward, you're going straight down into the ground. Right, so coming down like this. Knee as far down as you can. Showing you from a side angle. Down to the ground. Straight down to the ground. Next, we're going to do an exercise to strengthen your calf, also known as your gastroc muscle. And we're going to do it single-legged. This way we isolate just that one muscle. Okay, so you're going to stand on your right leg, and then coming up on your toes, and back down, up on your toes, and back down. It's not a balance exercise. So if you need to stand next to something, you can hold on to a wall, just fingertips. Same thing, coming up and back down, up and back down. That one you want to do high repetitions, so you could do 3 sets of 15. Next, we're going to do an exercise to strengthen your glutes and a little bit for your core. This is called a single leg bridge. So you're going to get down on the floor. You're going to have one leg out straight. In this case, I have my right leg out straight. Hands on the ground, but you're not using your hands. Okay, you're going to push through your left heel, lift up, hold for a few seconds, lower down slowly. Up, lower down slowly. You could switch legs. Same thing, up, lower down slowly, up, back down. 3 sets of 10 repetitions on each side. Next, we're going to work on our core stability. Okay, there's millions of exercises you can do for your core. For today, I'm going to show you high plank, basically bringing your knee to your elbow. And after that, we're going to do a boat pose. So you're going to get into a high plank position, which means on your hands and your feet, hands about shoulder width apart. All right, so you're going to bring your knee in, elbow, opposite knee to opposite elbow. The entire time, the goal is try to keep your spine stable. Don't let your spine drop, and don't let your hip drop when you do it. Okay? Next, we're going to do the boat pose. So you're going to sit on basically your tailbone. Okay? Legs out, arms out, and as straight as you can get your legs, the better. You want to sit back a little bit into the pose. This is not easy. You want to hold it for about 15 to 20 seconds. Try to keep those legs straight and relax. Next, we're going to talk about jumping mechanics. As we know in basketball, there's a lot of jumping involved, jumping to get rebounds and jumping to take that jump shot. Jumping appropriately, both up and then landing coming down, is very important to avoid injury. So first we're going to go over jump squats. After that, we will review box jumps. In the box jump, it's very important to focus on your landing and landing softly through your ankles and knees.